people shoot themselves in the foot, or they shoot their friend they're hunting with or whatever. They don't want to be liable, so they're going to blame the gun. The gun's evil, the gun's bad, the gun's unsafe. Hi folks, Tim Sundles here. It's a beautiful Tuesday morning, and my beautiful wife is doing the filming on her iPhone, and she's giving me funny expressions. I don't know what about, so I'm just going to keep going. And a lot of times I can't figure out her hand signals and facial expressions. I want to talk to you about something. I want to talk to you about the loss of the American society and American values in the gun industry.
While we're looking at the tools of freedom.
Yeah, no kidding. So what I'm really talking about here, and we will demonstrate, is political correctness that has found its way into the gun industry. And I'll be showing you some examples. 30, 35 years ago, one of the advantages of being old is that I lived this. I watched this. I've always been ahead of my time on stuff, and people have always thought, I should be in a straitjacket for some of the comments I make, but I can see what's coming down the road long before it gets to me. I don't need to slam my face into a brick wall to know that slamming my face into a brick wall will hurt. I have more vision than that. But 30 years ago, when political correctness first started, I was telling people political correctness will be the downfall of America. It will destroy America. And people would look at me like I was nuts. Well, okay, look at some of the stuff now in the last 30 years. Look where we've gotten. I mean, people are gender confused. People are burdened by taxation. People have no rights. You don't have any rights if you look very far, and it's all been brought upon us incrementally through social engineering with political correctness. And people go, well, how did that get in the gun industry? Okay, I'm going to show you. I'm going to start with revolvers. So, a lot of our American iconic traditional gun manufacturing companies are no longer even owned by American interests. I mean, Springfield Armory is a good example of that right now. A lot of them get bought out by private equity groups, and private equity groups are all about the private equity. They're all about the money making. To them, a gun is just an item. I mean, hell, it might as well be a coffee mug. It's just an item that they need to make a profit on. Well, then their attorneys and their accountants get together and go, hey, well, there's liability in the gun industry. If we end up in a courtroom because somebody got injured with one of our guns, we need to have an out. So some bright attorney goes, well, let's put a safety on it. And here we go, right down the slippery slope into hell. So let me show you. Let's start with revolvers. This is a very innovative Smith & Wesson L frame. It's called a Mountain Light. They're out of production now. 7-shot L frame revolver with the scandium aluminum parts everywhere. Super duper light. But can you see right above the cylinder latch, see that little hole? Disaffectionately known as a Hillary hole, because Hillary Clinton was pressing the gun companies with all kinds of governmental liability. So, we'll put a safety on it. Now, folks, ever since there's been double action revolvers or single action revolvers, they have operated like this. You pull the trigger, the gun goes bang. Or you cock the hammer, pull the trigger, the gun goes bang. There's a lot of safety built right in there. And the place that the real safety mechanism is supposed to be is between your damn ears. That's where the real safety mechanism is supposed to be. But, well, people shoot themselves in the foot, or they shoot their friend they're hunting with, or whatever. They don't want to be liable, so they're going to blame the gun. The gun's evil, the gun's bad, the gun's unsafe. You know, now if we look at a very comparable product, a .357 double action revolver made by Colt, do you see a Hillary hole on there? You don't. Guess what? This gun's very unsafe. I mean, this is so stupid. It operates the very same way, but it only holds 6 rounds. Therefore, it's 1 round safer. Oh my gosh, we're idiots. I mean, these Smith & Wessons, I would probably own 30, 40, 50 more of them than I do now if they didn't have that Hillary hole on them. I won't buy them with the Hillary hole unless they're just so innovative I have to buy one for testing, which this is.
How about if you feel that unsafe, you just don't buy a gun?
Yeah, how about you just stay in bed all day where it's safe? Yeah, good point. So look at this Ruger 357, another double action revolver. Do you see a Hillary hole on it? Well, then we better not even touch this. I can't believe sensor tubes even allowing us to show this gun on film. It's dangerous.
That should be in the garbage.
Oh,
Not
well,
even
no,
made.
because somebody might sort through your garbage and get a hold of it and shoot themselves. So that's not, you know, this whole thing is just, guns shouldn't even exist. We're just a bunch of morons. So now let's get to traditional lever action rifles. And I brought some traditional ones out here to show you how they operated since the inception of the repeating lever action rifle versus some of the attorney-born ideas to make them safer. And they're not safer. The attorneys are just looking to represent the gun manufacturing companies in court. If somebody gets sued for an unsafe product, they can say, oh, it's totally safe. We even added another safety.
So that's the question. How many safeties are enough? I mean, well, maybe we need 5 more on each one. I mean, like
They'd be
5
5
maybe,
times safer.
Yes, and then maybe that's not safe enough, and then maybe 6, and maybe 10.
I'm just
When
going to
is
go
it
back
safe
to
enough?
the stay in bed all day premise where it's safe. Of course, you'll get bed sores. Then you can sue the manufacturer of the mattress for your bed sores. Okay.
They need to make the bed safer, babe.
Well, so what would be a safety on a bed, on a mattress? Think about that for a while.
Oh, we probably won't have to think hard. It'll come up soon.
Well, not from me, it won't. Okay, here's a 1930s vintage Model 71. All Model 71s were chambered in 348 Winchester. And this is how they're designed to operate. You load your magazine tube, then you chamber around, you lower your hammer, and put it on half cock. Half cock is your safety. This is your safety too, but apparently that doesn't apply anymore to people who got too many participation trophies when their 6th grade basketball team lost the tournament, but they got a trophy anyway. Okay, folks, you're out hunting. You see your deer, your elk, your bear, whatever. All you have to do is raise, and this thing's totally safe. It can't fire. It's completely safe. All you have to do, cock your hammer and fire. That's all you got to do.
No, babe, you need to have another safety to turn off and on.
Well, and that's how safeties become unsafe. There's another safety mechanism that could have gotten activated now as the rifle was in your rifle scabbard on your horse, or as you were loading or unloading it from your vehicle, or as you were hiking, and we're going to get into that.
But that one isn't. That one's actually unsafe because it doesn't have the extra safety on that one.
It's a horrible gun.
Yeah, don't buy that one, everybody.
Don't ask me why I spent the $4,000 on an original Winchester to collect it and test it
Very unsafe.
because it was unsafe. That's just a gem of a rifle, by the way. Okay, so we go to another style of lever action. This is an 1895 Winchester, and this is a very old one. This is like a turn of the century gun, a turn of the last century gun, like very early 1900s. This one's chambered in 405 Winchester. Again, you chamber around, lower the hammer, put it on half cock. The gun can't fire. Look at that. It's totally safe. So you're sneaking around in the woods or whatever your use of a firearm was in those days, which still applies to this day. You see whatever you want to shoot, you raise, cock the hammer, and you fire. Totally safe, as long as you're safe. Same thing here. Here's a 1970s or 60s vintage Marlin Model 336 chambered in 30-30. And I show you a Marlin of more recent manufacture because I'm going to compare it to a modern Marlin that has a crossbolt safety on it. But same thing. You lower the hammer, place it on half cock, you're ready to go with your unsafe gun. Here's my mother's 30-30. It was made in 1902. According to the serial number, she bought it used at Purcell's gun shop in Boise. Her little sister then married Bob Purcell. And to show you how different times are now, my mom died at age 90, and that was 10 years. No, it wasn't 10 years ago, 8 years ago. I asked her about this 30-30 when I was a kid because I used to hunt deer with this when I was 14, 15, 16. And she said that every girl, when she left home in those days, needed a good rifle. She said there was two things you bought so you could leave home: an automobile and a good rifle. Look at this society we live in now. Guns are evil now. But same thing. An 1894 Winchester is the model, chambered in 30-30. Put it on half cock. Then when you see whatever it is you want to shoot, all you got to do is cock it and fire.
And it's safe, folks.
Well, not according to modern standards, which is the problem, modern. Here's an old early 1900s 38-40 Winchester model 1892. Same story. Put it on half cock. And then whenever you want to shoot, this baby's ready to go. Okay, let's compare it to the politically correct modern version.
Much, much, much safer.
Oh, well, it's safer in court. That's the only place it's safer.
You're not safe in court, though. That's the problem.
Well, you're not. You're not safe in any of the courts with the dumb stuff we've done. Here's an 1894 Marlin. It's very different than this Marlin made in the 60s or 70s. Why? Because it has a crossbolt safety on it. See that? You push that thing back and forth. So when you chamber around, lower your hammer, put it on half cock, the problem is this little crossbolt safety can get activated by accident, and it's almost impossible not to activate them, especially like in a rifle scabbard on a horse or just with handling that little safety. Here's what happens. It gets accidentally engaged to the safe position. You've got a round in the chamber, you're on half cock, and you see something you want to shoot, so you cock your hammer. Let's change that. Something you need to shoot. Let's say you've been 2 days without any food. Let's say you're being attacked by criminals. Whatever, you need to shoot. So instead of going bang, when you pull the trigger, the gun goes click because this crossbolt safety got engaged. Now let's look at the Winchesters. Most of these guns that I showed you, traditional lever guns, of the 5 of them, 4 of them were Winchesters, 1 was a Marlin. Here's a modern Winchester, and they're made by Moroku in Japan, and they're actually better made than the old Winchesters. I mean, the manufacturing techniques, the machining we can do these days is just far better than it ever could have been 100 years ago. However, Winchester, their attorneys, and this is a model 1886. This one's chambered in 4590. So you go to chamber around, and you lower the hammer, which, funny, doesn't lower right like a Winchester used to. So you go to put it on half cock, there's no half cock. This is what they call a rebounding hammer. It's an invention of attorney-driven engineers. And then on top of that, right here on the tang, you have a safety. And I will grant you that the tang safety doesn't get engaged accidentally quite as easily as the crossbolt safety does on the Marlin. But still, it's another safety device. And so now you've got a round chamber, and you can't put it on half cock, which makes it unsafe. And your tang safety is another device you have to manipulate, which can get engaged accidentally, which makes it unsafe. And so now when you see something that you need to shoot, you raise the gun and cock it, and there, now it's on fire. Okay, you're dead. Or the animal you were hunting is gone. Or heaven forbid you don't look down here at the tang safety, which is engaged, and you just end up with a big click, and the animal runs off, whatever. Or the attacking force, let's say a grizzly bear, is now on top of you, ripping your head off. Adding a safety device is unsafe. It's
When the gun's already safe.
Yeah, the gun was safe to start with. What wasn't safe was you as the operator. But no, we can't have accountability. We need a device. Folks, this is a part of political correctness. And then other gun manufacturing companies jump on it so they can be equally as correct. We are ruining our society, and this political correctness stuff is in the gun industry and needs to be guarded against. It needs to be eschewed. It needs to be done away with. Kim and I started doing these videos for this reason. We want to educate the public. And it takes somebody old like me that remembers the way things used to be to have a clear vision of how sideways we've gone and how incremental it is. Very small increments. So most people don't notice. Anyway, folks, I just wanted to go over political correctness in the gun industry with you by showing you some of these examples. And Kim and I love this country and care about it. And we love and care about the people in it. And that's the whole reason we are doing these videos. And with that said, God bless. We'll see you on the next video.